Hello, 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 family. I just want to touch a quick word on the elections. And my title here is Don't Dig Yourself Any Deeper. Don't dig yourself any deeper. Just a quick word before you head to vote. As a churchman, we don't have to choose between people. We only have to choose for God. So if you have to go to vote, at least vote for God. Vote for God. Vote for godly values. Vote for vote for godly values, but no godly values. Vote for peace, not for war. Vote for love, not for hate. Vote for wisdom, not for not for haste. So I want to talk about the situation that we in as a country. As a country. Just take 5 minutes of your time. 5 minutes. As a country, looking from an outside perspective, we are not trustworthy. All the agreements, the accords, everything that we signed with other nations, we walked away from. The the environmental treaty, the the Paris Agreement, even the accords that we had with Mexico, with other states, Canada, we had to all of a sudden force them into something new. We departed from the World Health Organization and we don't associate much with the United Nations. I don't understand how no strategy can be a strategy. One thing I want to say is that in America we say, don't hate the players, hate the game. Do not hate the players, but hate the game. And what this president, this leader has been doing is to hate the players. We cannot complain all along about China as if China had forced us to enter the type of relationship we were in with China. No, it was our own will. We cannot complain about everything and everybody as if we were forced into these things. And when we enter an agreement, let's be people of honor and honor our agreements. If we don't want to honor our agreements, let's find a mutually agreeable way to walk away from our agreements. So today, as a nation, what's the worth of America's word to the other nations? What's our word worth? What's our commitment worth when we are able to get up one day and just walk away from things that we willingly signed? That's the question. Now, as for Mr. Trump's strategy, I believe it is just the easiest thing to walk away rather than to walk it. Because whether it is the United Nations, in New York, the World Trade Organization, in New York, all of these institutions, the World Health Organization, all of these institutions are in New York. In New York City, the United Nations is in New York City. When we talk world order, it's always been in the hands of America. America has been the head, the leader of the world order. Now, this order is being challenged by other nations, but it is not because they are stronger. No, it is simply because America has lost leadership, visionaries. All of the world order as we know it until this administration came in was set, rule directed by America. America has been the number one nation in the world, the world's police. It is true that others have taken advantage of it, but the question is not, are they taking advantage? So we have to just break the whole system. Those systems have been put in place by the fathers of this nation. So to be doing what Mr. Trump is doing is just hating the game. And it's not a game that was set by other people, but by his own fathers. No strategy is not a strategy. The reason why America got involved with the entire world is because they first thought by not getting involved, they will be okay. But when Japan bombed an American island, America had to get involved with the world. So you can play the ostrich and cover your eyes as long as you want to, but one day you have to come out of your bubble and take care of your environment. You will have to, because just backing off, backing away, will not stop others from coming your way. That's very important to understand. This administration doesn't have any type of world approach whatsoever. So the idea of just running backwards, it's a lie to ourselves as Americans. Mr. Trump has failed his forefathers by destroying the very institutions that they built. We do not have to go into China to control health and processes inside of China. The World Health Organization, with its seat here in the United States, the headquarters in New York, could have been used by the Americans to run whatever was happening into China. All we needed to do is to strengthen these organizations, and America being the number one supplier of funds into this organization. You want to tell me that we wouldn't have a say? We just have to play by the rules that we set up, to where we can have a say through these organizations. And that's how we get the entire world in line with a certain order that we have deemed to be just. And we have everybody at the table. Today we walked away from all these accords. What happens tomorrow when Europe walks away from all the accords that they have signed with America? The ones that we do not dislike, but that we willingly signed. What happens the day after tomorrow when China walks away? And whoever wants to walk away will do just the same. What happens? We cannot go this way. It's a failing strategy. We need to remember that all this order has been set in place. When Mr. Trump talks about globalism, globalism has always been in place. Globalism is America at the head, at the helm of the world. The problem is that the American leaders, the American politicians, especially when it comes to the foreign policy makers, have never been watchful, they have never been paying attention to what was happening. So the game changed because there's so many voices now voting and getting it their own way, but you can reassess the situation and increase your influence. Instead of hating the players, play the game. It's a game that we set up as Americans. So it is sad to see the country go this way. And the reason why it is not going any positive way, the proof is that we're not even getting along with our own citizens, with our own neighbors. We're not getting along. So how far are we going to take this? We're not getting along with the nations around us. We're not getting along with the families next to us based on political choices. What nonsense is that? That is unwise. So when you vote tomorrow, remember, have a strategy, have a long term strategy. Winning today in any way possible is not a strategy. Because if there's no game, there's no winner. Because we hate the players instead of playing the game. We need to wisen up, be smart, and play hardball, but stay within. Even when we go to war, we have the rules of engagement. Even when we go to war, we have rules of engagement. When you have an enemy that you're about to put down, there is still rules of engagement. Because human nature and men of honor have understood that there's a way to do things as humans. So remember, when you go cast your vote, choose who you're going to be. Are you going to be a man of honor? Are you going to understand that ugly doesn't make beautiful? Or are you going to keep going the way of foolishness? A way that doesn't take you anywhere because there's simply no way. No strategy is not a strategy. We have to lift up the image of America, the honor of America. We have to bring it back. And we have to allow for visionaries to lead this country. When we talk Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, all of these guys, they were visionaries. They were visionaries. They had a vision, not some short motors to make you smile for one day and worry the next. But they had vision. And that's why the entire world has been dreaming about America, has been consuming American products, watching American movies, dreaming to come into America because of the perception that they have for America. But today, that perception is in the water. That perception is gone. That goodwill is gone. The goodwill that makes everybody around the world like Coca Cola. The goodwill that makes everybody around the world dance to American music. We have Coca Cola type thing, sodas, cola type all around the world, but people drink Coca Cola. It's not because it's the best, but it is the perception of America that makes people want American products. Same thing, there's music all around the world, local music, local movies, all around the world. People watch them, but they still want to watch American movies because they believe in the American culture. But if we go the way we're going, we're going to lose every bit of goodwill that we have because we have fallen into confusion. We have fallen into a lie. So this is not about faith, it's just about helping oneself. Don't dig yourself any deeper. Don't dig yourself any deeper. Stand the ground. Stand your ground of morality. Stand the ground of fairness, stand the ground of justice, stand the ground of love, and be someone that people look up to. As a person, as a family, as a city, as a state, as a nation, be someone. God bless you. God bless America. And think on these things before you cast your vote. Because those things involve you, and you're the only one who will suffer the consequences of an unwise choice. God bless you.